Oh, baby, it's Friday. Happy Friday to everyone out there. We have made it. I have had one heck of a week. I am happy to be talking on this microphone, happy to be talking about football, happy to talk about anything, really. We had some preseason games on tonight. We got to see some of Sanders fling the ball around and, all that fun stuff that people are going to blow out of proportion, make mountains out of molehills. But tonight, I have a great guy. You run into people on social media, and you just never know if they're genuine, be it a chat group or anything like that, or just like talking sports in general. But then, you get to, know them, go on each other's podcast. And as my next guest and I have met up in Green Bay, Wisconsin during the draft, genuine dude, Brian Rago, is about to come at you live here on FANBOYS Unleashed. Let's get this thing started, shall we? All right. There we are. Yeah, there you go, computer. Thank you for putting him up there. Anyway, good evening, everybody. Here we are, FANBOYS Unleashed. I am Sam Dean, a.k.a. Mr. First Down. I am a fanboy unleashed, and I am with Brian Rago, the Packers fan himself. He is also a fanboy unleashed, way more quieter than I am, though. He is up here. We are happy to have him. Brian from the Cheese Talk podcast. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Oh, making it, man. Making it.
Yeah.
This week has been a crazy one for me. My dog of 13 years died Wednesday, and that really stunk. But understandable because, she was bad health. So it was a matter of time. And then my daughter yesterday decided to eat some of these water beads that expand.
Ooh.
and we take her in the Vanderbilt Children's Hospital, and they go, yeah, that sounds familiar. And there were two other kids on that floor had done the same thing. It's just the curse of summer. People start putting them in their pools and everything like that. Oh, the little bubble things are so cool. And then the kids are like, let's eat them.
Yeah. Right.
And next thing you know, you've got, intestinal blockage and Lord knows whatever else. But she is good now. She is home. Thank God she is home. But hey, we're here now. So Brian, it's great seeing you on here, as I did in your introduction. It's great to, have somebody that's genuine that you can actually talk to. He runs a great show. You guys should totally check it out. But I got to ask you, Brian, how did you first get into podcasting, if you don't mind me asking?
It was more of a kind of impulse decision. I don't know. I was approached by Iowa Joe over at Ohana Packers Network, and kind of threw this idea out. And I just like talking sports and about life in general, and just connecting with different people.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes it's easier to talk to people on social media than it is to talk within your own community. Obviously you're at home majority of the time, and
yes,
it's just something that I find that it's a good thing to just socialize and just talk with people that have the same interests as you, and kind of start debate, just create a friendship. It's
it's my favorite part about this, I think, because here you and I have no business ever knowing each other. Wham bam, here we are. We're mixing it up, making it happen.
It's funny you brought up that we met at the draft, because obviously when I had you on my show, you told me you're coming up, so we try to make plans to meet up and everything, and with the cell service and for you, the beverages, and for me, just getting there, trying to give you enough of a heads up to, hey, I'm here. And then I get there and I start walking. I'm walking towards the main stage at the draft, and all of a sudden there comes this guy, with the big foam cowboy hat on, the Titans hat, the big blue and whatever bow was on. He's sitting there holding his drink. I'm like, there he is, and it's just kind of crazy, like you say. It's I ended up seeing 3 or 4 people that I actually worked with or that I knew that were just there without even me knowing that they were going to be there, and all of a sudden it's boom, hey, it's wow, it's crazy, Like it was almost
Oh,
meant to happen.
yeah, Alan calls me the peacock, and that's a fair assumption. The boas and the giant foam hat, pretty much, yeah, sets me off. It is kind of funny because I like walk through, and then like the first Packer fans out of the gate. Oh my God, they do exist. And I like stroll, and of course it's me, like the brightest guy
Right.
ever. And it's funny because I went to the draft in Detroit and the same thing happened. And I went to the draft in Green Bay, and same thing happened. Can you come over and do a radio interview real quick? It's so funny. And it's like all these different kinds of fans walking by. They're like, no, I want that one. I want the crazy looking one or whatever. This is how they find people to give those funny interviews after tornadoes hit, right?
Right.
No, I don't want the guy that's like well dressed or has a nice pickup truck or whatever. Give me the lady pink moo and a chihuahua, and I want to hear about how the Nader done took her house somewhere. So
yeah, that or there's that. I don't know if you've ever seen that viral video from a few years back where, I think the building behind the girl was on fire. You remember that one? Yeah. It was on fire.
It was on.
They made some type of like dubstep remix to it, like on the internet. It was just absolutely hilarious.
So you grew up in Wisconsin, right?
Yeah, I was born just south of Madison. I lived in Madison I lived down there for 26 years. Met my wife, coincidentally at I used to work I used to work full-time construction, part-time. I was a bouncer at a bar just down the road from Camp Randall, where the Badgers play, and we had a mutual friend that was the bar manager there. That was from De Pere, Green Bay. That knew my wife, and my wife at the time, for like extra money, would work the beer garden down there. And her first impression of me was, "Who in the f is that guy?" Because I was so intoxicated. And here we are, 19 years later, with 5 kids, and this July 19th we hit 17 years of marriage. So,
woohoo! Well done, sir.
Yeah.
You didn't scare her off yet. I'm in year 13. I'm like, you're still here? That's crazy.
But yeah, we ended up moving back to her hometown. My daughter's 16, so about 17 years ago, 18 years ago. So yeah, I never envisioned myself living, like I stay in the shadows of Lambeau Field, but I feel pretty, I guess, lucky that I get to live this close to a place that I can go to and just forget about everything.
Magical place. It's a magical place. It really is when you step in there. I mean, I got to eat at that very cool sports bar that was down there with the Italian name. I can never say it right. Right across from the bar called The Bar, which irritated me because over the phone with people, where are you at? The bar. Okay, which bar? The Bar. It's called The Bar. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
It's like, who's on first? Yes. So, but yeah, no, I had a great time, great food, cheese. As soon as I walked in through the gate, who could be mad at that? But like I told everybody, you're told it's not a church and everything like that. But as soon as you hit that field, the history of it just washes over. And it's amazing because everybody was out there and everybody was very, like they were talking, but they were very reverent. You know what I mean? When they hit that field, you see those names up in the Packers Stadium. Thank you, baby. She brought me a shake. See, 13 years, I got this shake. Look, I made it. Thank you, babe. But like you see names that like 1890 to 1907 and stuff like that. That's rarefied air, I would say. As far as
I actually had the chance. A good buddy of mine got tickets to the Brett Favre's the Ring of Honor ceremony years ago, and I was actually there for that. And that was obviously before all the negative news came out about it and everything. And that was you talk about goosebumps. There were goosebumps. Like it was just like in awe, Mm-hmm. It's definitely like you say. It's a church. It's like I don't care if you hate the Packers, but you got to respect the tradition, respect the history and everything. I mean. You can hate the Packers all you want, but you tour the Hall of Fame and the Pro Shop and everything. It's just for a community the size of Green Bay, 110,000 people. they had how many people were there through 3 days, 4 days of the draft. It's just unreal. It's the small market team. It's crazy.
Right. Yeah. Look, the best thing I ever saw was like you go to Detroit and you go to all the other drafts, even one in Nashville, and they have cleaning crews cleaning up there. At Green Bay, they had the people there. The people there were cleaning up the beer cans and everything. There was a guy who had a hoodie on, and I remember he had this little badge thing. I think his last name was Thompson. He had 3 little stars. And I said, "Hey, what's the 3 stars?" And he said, "My great-grandfather, my grandfather, and my dad all sat in the same seats." And I said, and that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, the waiting list to get on season tickets is crazy. Like, there's people that are, like, when they were first born, their parents put them in line for the tickets, and they're just now getting them, 50 years later.
Oh, yeah. Crazy. It's nuts that it goes back that far.
And you mentioned the people that just help there and stuff, and during snowstorms and everything else, they offer bring your own shovel, or they'll provide shovels. They'll pay you cash to come and shovel out the stadium, and people show up. People get turned away to help because there's so many people that want to come help clear the seating and the aisles and all that stuff. So it's definitely amazing. Yeah, it's crazy.
We got a shout out here, Mr. Allen, the only Cowboys fan I've ever loved. And he says, "Which fan base has surprised you the most as far as positive or negative attitudes?"
You asking me the question?
Yeah, he's asking you that question.
I guess it really wasn't a surprise, but just like I remember last year, first game of the year for the Packers when they played the Eagles. I still think it was a dirty hit, the high-low hit on Jordan Love.
Oh, yeah.
Considering who was involved with the hit and knowing that, they don't have the cleanest background. So I'll stick with my guns and I'll say the Eagles as far as, I knew they were dirty, but when I made that post and they came after me in my inbox and, 3 million impressions that I had on that post, it was just, enough to make anybody just want to just deactivate their Twitter account,
Oh, yeah, no, I remember it. I checked it the next day. I was like, we're still here. It's still going. Goodness gracious. You want to talk about a pond. You throw a pebble into a pond. That's a ripple for you.
Yeah, woo. And then it's just reassuring my thought of never going to Philadelphia in my entire life.
Well, I'm not either.
Sitting pretty good with me right now. I'd rather go to downtown Chicago wearing Packer stuff than going to Philadelphia.
Here. You got a positive one that you were shocked about, or is it?
I don't know. I've always given the Cowboys fans crap, but the amount of Cowboy fans that I've met through social media, Cowboy Reds, Lulu Bama, and all them, they're genuine people. They're nice. It's always like with the fan base, like the Cowboys, with anybody, it's like they always want to shine light on the negative ones. They never want to shine light on the positive ones,
Correct.
And I can give the Bears crap as much as I want because, it's been, that's going to be nothing.
They're in your division. If they're in your division,
they've won one game against us in 14 games and the last, 14 games. And where have they been the last 30 plus years before 85, or after 85?
I'll second that with my negative one with the Eagles fans. I have had nothing but bad times with Eagles fans. I don't get it. I just don't get the attitude. My positive, the Chiefs fans were very nice. I have had several interactions with them. They've come to my stadium. I've actually been to theirs. Very, very nice people and everything. And I'm happy that I still know people that are Chiefs fans and all that kind of stuff. And they gave me directions to get out of the stadium once. That way I didn't hit traffic and stuff like that. I thought they were going to sit me down. And I was like, well, this is it. So I took their advice and hey, I made it home a lot more quickly. So I'll give them credit to that. I was shocked by that. But moving on. Thank you for the question, Alan. FANBOYS Unleashed is brought to you by Alan Perelez and his random question. Thank you, Alan. Let's see. What is your biggest worry in the division? Lions, Bears, or Vikings?
Just because of what they have for talent
Mm-hmm.
from last year, I guess I'd worry about the Lions the most. Just because they had Jameer Gibbs and their wide receiving core too is kind of scary when healthy. Jameson Williams, and although I do like Jameson Williams' end zone celebration, the dry hump, that was pretty cool. But I'd have to say the Lions, but you never know when you take away coach how they're going to perform the next year.
Right.
I think Ben Johnson was masking a lot of Campbell's flaws.
Right.
So I think with Ben Johnson gone, I think it's going to be harder. So, I think the Bears was a fluke last year. I don't think it's going to happen again. They're not going to win against us this year, I don't think. I hope not. Right? I think Caleb Williams.
Game, bro.
What's that?
Didn't they get you the last game of the season or something last year?
Yeah, they
all the starters. The nonsense game.
Yeah, they did. But it is what it is. I mean, in Green Bay, I guess take a loss, but if you're making the playoffs, so what, right?
Yeah, no, I you take the loss there a million times over. I don't care what anybody says. It's silly.
So did you catch my podcast with Chuck Metz last weekend?
No,
I went over the stats with just to bring it up quick. Now you bring up the Bears. I brought up the Bears. Brett Favre, his record against the Bears was 23-13.
Wow.
He had 745 completions, 8,606 passing yards, 60 touchdowns, 42 interceptions.
Wow.
Aaron Rodgers went 24-5, almost 6,700 passing yards, 64 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions.
Yeah.
Almost 15,000 yards passing, 125 touchdowns. That's crazy. And you got Bears fans freaking yapping at us because they beat us one game in the last, 4 years, whatever,
Yeah, no, it's what we call no leg to stand on. You have 0 legs to stand on. No. But when you're desperate like that, you reach for anything, anything at all. And hey, I get it. I'm a Titans fan. I totally get it. So, next up, who do you think it's going to come down to in the NFC?
In the NFC,
I think it's the Rams and you guys personally. That's how I feel.
I'd probably go top 3 if Stafford's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly the Rams, because if he's out, that's what you got. Garoppolo there.
Yeah,
and him and Devontae didn't get along in San Francisco or in Las Vegas. So who knows what could happen there? That would leave you with what possibly the Eagles, Lions, and the Packers. So I'm gonna go probably Philly and Green Bay.
Philly and Green Bay.
Yeah,
that's the same. I'm okay. I think the Rams are going to be better than what a lot of people think. I think they're going to be a little more stout. But I don't know. I also like their coach. I think Sean's a very good head coach. And I think he figures out things.
Him and LaFleur are like best friends too.
Yeah, I know. They all came from that Shanahan or whatever. The guy that got his coffee is now no, I'm just kidding. So it's everybody's trying to catch on that you trend in this league, and they start. And next thing you know, it's like Sean McVay. If you did anything for Sean McVay, I kept him from walking out in traffic. You get a job. If I waited on him at a table, you get a job. It's that people follow the trends of young, offensive-minded talent, and here we are. And I think that's been good and bad all at the same time, to be honest. So
yeah.
So we did the NFC. Where do you think it's going to come down to on the AFC?
Well, I kind of over the last few years I've been adopted, I think, by Bills Mafia as a second family after the Packers. So I'm going to go.
Going through that table hurts, doesn't it?
Oh, it does, especially when it's flaming cheese curds on there. I I'm going to go probably Houston, Buffalo, and KC.
Woo! I like that.
Houston, I think, if they can overcome injuries and play to their potential, I think they're on the up and up. KC is always going to be there, and Buffalo is always going to be there. In my eyes,
Absolutely, I agree. I can see that. Not wild about Houston being in there, but what can I do? So let's see. Got really well thought out answers to my question. Okay, this I found very strange, but I've discussed it with several other Packers fans as well. Jordan Love seems to have a decent amount of controversy around him as far as Packers fans go. You chat about it, and you can find 18 different opinions on the Packers or Jordan Love. And why do you think there's any controversy on him whatsoever? To me, he's the guy. So why do we still have controversy on this guy? What am I missing?
I think there's a couple of different ways you could attack that. The ones that have controversy are probably still pissed off about them drafting him when Aaron Rodgers was at the height at whatever point in his career in Green Bay. And you probably have some that are probably feeling the same way about when they drafted Aaron Rodgers when Brett Favre was at the height of it, at the point in his career where he was in Green Bay. And then from what we've seen from those two quarterbacks with Favre and Rodgers over the last, 30 years, we expect immediately out of Jordan Love. And just because we're not seeing exactly what we saw out of those two, I think people are just going to start throwing darts at them. They're not giving them a chance.
It's sometimes it's success. You know what I mean? Like, he's not good enough for Green. It's that kind of attitude, which is really odd to me. I'm like, what do you mean? You got a guy. You know what I would do for a guy right now? I would do almost anything to have him.
Yeah.
But yeah, even when I was up there, I was like, yeah, you got Jordan Love and everything. And some people were like, well, and I'm like, that is just so weird to me. It's interesting. I just didn't know. I didn't get what it was about. But you're giving a lot of the same answers that all the other Packers fans are.
Everybody has their own opinion. I think you got to give him a chance. I mean,
sure.
Obviously, if we were, if we weren't armchair GMs, I mean, there's a reason why there's the history in Green Bay, and it's just, if they weren't good at their job, they wouldn't have the GM job or the head coaching job or this. It's just, give the guy a chance and let's let him go out there and perform. I don't know.
I had one guy in there. They're like, hey, thanks for Malik Willis. I can't wait till he's the starter. I'm like, what do you mean he's the starter? Like, you don't need him to be the starter. You see how good he did? Like, it was like the same 7 plays over and over. But he's not the starter.
The funny thing about Malik Willis is, I remember because we had him against the Colts, right? So
yes,
like they knew like he wasn't really like good at passing, so they knew we were going to run the ball, and they still couldn't stop the run. I remember like at the end of the first quarter, we had like 160 yards rushing at the end of the first quarter. It's like, how can you not stop a run? There is a running back, go tackle the running back.
LaFleur was known as one of the top guys in like play action passes too. So how do you set up a play action pass? Well, you run the football. So yeah. I find it funny that people aren't like, oh, okay, well, they're going to pass it, so I'm going to be ready for it. That's what I'm going to do. It's just silly things.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Hello, Bobby. Time is money. I agree. Anyway, so it's time to unveil my new segment of my show, and I'm doing it with Brian. Today, and I am so psyched. Welcome to Yes, Yes, No, No, where we're going to talk about at least 3 things that is either a yes or a no that you can do when it comes to FANBOYS. That's fun. I liked that. That was good. That was the first time I played that, so I hope it worked. I was like waiting for the words to shoot out all wrong or whatnot. Okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Ryan, if that is your name.
It is.
You would.
Yes.
Yes. I say your name. I say your name. Can you wear another team's jersey ever? Yes, sir. If yes, give me what qualifies as.
Okay, you have this on your platforms.
Oh yeah,
last
it was
week.
highly defined. You talk about your tweet. That tweet went far for me.
And okay, so this is. I grew up in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
Wisconsin sports all the way: Badgers, Bucks,
Sure.
Brewers, Packers. Right, Marquette, whoever you want to say. You know, I always root for the underdog because all these teams are always small market. No one ever gives them a chance. You got the pack. Anyways, I was a huge Badger fan growing up. Still, I'm a huge Badger fan. But the moment I saw Charles Woodson playing for Michigan, I became an instant Charles Woodson fan. When he got drafted to the Raiders, I went out and I remember for Buccaneers against the Raiders in the Super Bowl, I had a Charles Woodson Raiders jersey, and to this day, I still have it in my closet. So yes, is the answer.
Okay.
I'll die on that hill.
Okay. So if it's a player you really like, you're allowed to wear the jersey.
Yeah. Why not, right?
No, I guess fine. I mean, that's fine. So
What's your thought? No.
It's you were born there. You will die. So I actually found out one of my in-laws who's always like being a snooty Colts fan to me, and his son goes, "Don't let him talk to you, Sam. He was a Bears fan back in the day." I was like, "How dare you, sir?" And he's like, "You weren't supposed to tell him that." Like he got all like defensive or whatever. But no,
to be fair though, I haven't worn it since that Super Bowl back in like 2000 and whatever it was, 2003, 2004. So I haven't worn it, but I still have it, I guess.
Oh, okay. Rock on. There's certain jersey. I've got my Curse jersey. I've gotten my I do have a Eagles Reggie White jersey, but I will never wear it. Ever. Nope. Can't do it. But yeah, it was really funny because I did not expect that tweet or that post to take off like it did. And next thing you know, in my TikTok, I posted it there, and there were fights going on in the comment section about what you can and could not do. I had like philosophy people going, "This is sports. I don't know why you're fighting."
Right? You got
like,
someone smoking the wacky tobacco, sitting there trying to be a peacemaker, you know?
yeah. I'm like, it's not that deep. It's not that deep, but don't.
It really is, man.
Yeah, no, like, this is why humanity's falling apart. This TikTok you made has destroyed everything. Anyway, oh man. All right, you're having a tailgate, big old Packers tailgate. The cheese curds are flowing. The Milwaukee's best is flowing down the rocks, and I am underneath to catch it all. And then you're playing the Bears. And your boy shows up with his girlfriend, and she's in a Chicago Bears jersey. She's got to go, or does she get to come in? Look at that!
If I know who she is, she could probably stay. But if not, she's got to go.
That's fair. That's like his new girlfriend, you know. He met her last week, and you're like, "What is this nonsense?"
I mean, we'll toss some crazy things out, but I mean, as far as giving her a hard time, but I mean, is it really her fault that she's a Bears fan? If you got to think about it, or was that she was born around that's all she's ever known?
Childhood trauma, something happened. Sorry. Oh yeah, no, that's a fun one to ask because people are always like, well, the jersey's one thing, but like showing up at the tailgate, don't know, fam, don't know. I always got pretty lucky because I'm dressed like a peacock, so people want to take pictures with me and feed me, give me health. That's right. We ask you politely but firmly to leave. Excellent, Alan. Excellent. By the way, New King of the Hill season is terrific. I'm so glad it's back. It's really funny. It's like it never left. It's so funny. Oh man. Anywho, let's see. One more fandom question for you. What is the proper decor? And this can be. We'll do it both ways. You're in the Chicago Bears jersey. Is it fine to gloat? I'm sorry, you're in the Chicago Bears stadium for an away game. Is it fine to gloat? And is it fine for them to gloat when they're in your stadium? Or do you think it's like bad decorum?
As far as like celebrating their team?
Well, like, yeah, or being obnoxious.
Yeah. I mean, there's a certain point. Like if you're like blacked out and drunk, like you gotta stop. Get the hell out of here.
Right. You're flicking off kids in the face and stuff. Like you gotta go, pal.
Oh yeah, you gotta get your drunk uncle out of here. Luckily for me, if I was in Soldier Field or Lambeau South, whatever you want to call it, and I was being obnoxious, I probably wouldn't be in the first place because I'm in Chicago.
Right.
I don't want
to. You value breathing. It's very nice.
I have second cousins that actually run a funeral home down in Chicago. I don't want to end up being a customer of theirs. That's true though. Rago Brothers Funeral Homes are second cousins, but no, I just wouldn't. There's a time and a place, and you got to think of where you are when you do something like that. In my eyes, I mean, you get fans that get liquid courage. I mean, for me, I've going on 4 years of sobriety, so I would never, I guess. I'd be smarter than to do something like that in an opposing stadium where I'm not used to my surroundings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's a time and a place for it. I'm under the umbrella of winner takes the spoils, right? Victor takes the spoils, right? If they've won, if they've embarrassed you, if they won in overtime, doesn't matter. They won the game. There's nothing you can do about it. It's like you're just going to have to accept it. And I mean,
like I said, there's different levels. If it's like a close game and they win, but if like you're just obnoxiously drunk and you're making a fool of yourself, there's no room for that. I get like fair sportsmanship and going back and forth, like joking back and forth. But when it gets to the point to where you have like all these Niner fans and Raiders fans getting the fist fights and people falling down 15 flight steps and people getting killed and that's just Phil. I mean, Eagles fans the most, but that's just there's no room for that in sports. It's just
zero room for it. And every time you look on YouTube, it's always Raiders and Niners fans every season. And I'm like, why?
Right.
Like this is so silly. What if I'm there, Brian? But I'm your favorite drunk uncle. Like,
I'd probably text security to come get your ass out of there.
Sam, I don't know. I didn't do it. So
just so you're safe, right? If I knew you and you're there doing that, I wouldn't. I'd get security there to get you escorted out, so I knew you wouldn't get any more issues.
Just put him next to the Captain Morgan tent. That's where he likes it anyway.
Put him in the drunk tank and let him sleep it off, and wake up the next morning, and
yeah. Hey there, buddy. Would you like some cheese?
Yeah.
The one thing I really like, because we were staying in Brilliant, so we're like, we're gonna find a breakfast joint, and we found one, and the people were so happy. Those are the people that really need tourist dollars, not all these like crazy things. But yeah, we went there, and I literally just love that accent so much, and I just sat there. And I just heard her like, Stan, have you gone and taken care of Marv's pipes yet? And he's like, Marv, he doesn't like his pipes being messed with and stuff. And I was like, this is the best conversation I've ever heard in my life. I was having a great time.
And little did you know that cheese factory you went to was right by my house. Was like literally like 40 seconds from my house.
Dude, we still order from them. Like online and everything.
Yeah.
No, it's great stuff. I brought so much cheese from there, and I brought it home to my family and whatnot. My dad and wife are like big cheese people, so they're flipping. They're like, this is delicious. Whatever. So they order from her constantly and whatnot, and I'm happy to provide that because that's just so cool. That's so cool that I can have that effect.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it looks like the Lions and Falcons game is suspended. Oh, no.
Why did Jameson Williams get caught with a handgun?
No, unfortunately. Maurice Norris, Detroit Lions player, is taken off the field in an ambulance in a serious injury.
Oh damn.
No. Yeah, that
sucks.
Good. Yeah. Not great. So T's and P's for that guy. Thoughts and prayers. Anyway,
Yep.
I hope you all are enjoying the preseason. I hope you're enjoying Friday night. I hope you're enjoying SmackDown. Brian, was I one of the reasons to get you back into wrestling? Was I one of the hooks?
Yeah, that and my kids. My kids really got into it. They started asking me more and more questions about stuff like what that I watched when I was a kid, and they just are into it.
They have no idea, do they? They have no idea, do they?
Yeah.
I'm like, this stuff is good. Don't get me wrong, but it ain't nothing like when you hear the glass shatter in the 90s. Oh,
yeah. When you got Shawn Michaels giving the kick to Marty Jannetty at the barber shop, and he goes through the glass window, and and like even like my kids were somewhat like kind of taken back when Hogan passed away. It's just, and you see all the backlash on social media about that too. It's like, I don't know.
We have to separate. You have to separate the character from the real life things, right?
Yeah.
Because here's the bottom line. I don't think people ever realize is that flawed people do amazing things. I mean, that's just how it is, right? I mean, King James burnt witches at the stake, right? He gave people a Bible. So there's that. There's Winston Churchill, horrible alcoholic. Was exactly what England needed to win World War II. Flawed people do horrible things, and they can also do really great things too. And I think that's just how it's going to have to be. When you think like all these great wrestlers and everything are getting paid because Hulk Hogan was who he was. That's the only reason. So I think people have to be able to separate the art from the artist when it comes to these kinds of things. And we have to measure their impact total on something. And Hulk Hogan had an amazing impact because we're not talking that guy, his ceiling, geez, even in the 90s. I mean, he just broke right through the ceiling. He was an actor. He was on TV shows. He was world renowned. He could go anywhere and everybody knew who he was. That's big time. That's really big time. But yeah. But
I mean, you even look at Vince McMahon and everything he did behind the scenes that came out, and when he eventually stepped down,
Yeah, wrestling still wouldn't be what it would be if he didn't do it. Like that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Can't erase him from history. What did Shakespeare say? He said, "The evil that men do lives after them. The good is awfully interred with their bones." That's 100% true. People always remember the bad stuff. They don't remember the good stuff. And if they do, it's kind of been passed.
Right.
Which is a sad thing. Look at us talking about life. Philosophy. Oh, my gosh. I can't believe this love. Brian, where can these good people find you?
Well, I just recently, like a couple weeks ago, started. I'll start on Twitter. You can find me at Cheese Talk _pod. Cheese is spelled with a Z. YouTube, it's at Cheese Talk Podcast. Facebook at Cheese Talk Podcast. TikTok at Cheese Talk _pod. And Instagram at Cheese Talk _pod. And if you find me on X, you can go to I got my Linktree link in there. You can click on my link and pretty much pulls up all my social medias to come and stalk and harass me.
I can't believe you said that about me. So I'm sorry, I got the name wrong. My autocorrect must have put cheese. No,
that's fine. Cheese. No worries. It's cheese with a Z.
Yeah, no, it always happens to me. Like it autocorrects something. I'm like, no, it's his handle. I can't, I can't help it that he spelled it that way.
Yeah.
Brian, thanks for coming. This has been a lot of fun. And Fanboys Unleashed is always live every 8:30 p.m. on Friday, unless if it's different, I'll change it for you. But we talk about NFL football all year round, and we've had our first ever yes and no-nos of fandom, and Brian had really logical answers to them, so I couldn't rebut. So doesn't that stink? Anyway, so thank you all for watching. We will catch you Fridays, 8:30 p.m. Central Time for Fanboys Unleashed. I'm Sam Dean, a.k.a. Mr. First Down. He's Brian Rago. Check him out, and we will see you later.